Hey, what's going on everyone? Nick here with HN Entertainment's review for Godzilla King of the Monsters. So the film picks up roughly 5 years after the events of Godzilla 2014, in which Monarch is regarded as a heroic agency protecting the world from these various Titan creatures they first encountered in that film. But this time they're going to have to contend with not just Godzilla, but 3 other alpha predators, which are Rodan, Mothra, and King Ghidorah himself. Basically, all of these mythological creatures rise again, vying for supremacy, leaving humanity's very existence hanging in the balance. So before we get into everything, my first impressions walking out of the film was that I was very impressed by it, because I love the Godzilla movies, I love the whole universe and everything. I like what they're doing so far with this incarnation in the MonsterVerse, as it has been dubbed by Legendary. And I'm really curious to see how they're going to continue these films, especially after King of the Monsters. I wasn't too hot on Godzilla 2014, I liked a lot of elements of it. I did enjoy how it was much more of a sort of build-up film to a climactic showdown at the end, but I found the human characters to be kind of weak, they weren't very interesting, their plot and storyline wasn't all that great, apart from Bryan Cranston's character. I kind of wish that he was sort of the main character of that film, apart from Aaron Taylor Johnson and Elizabeth Olsen's romance subplot. But this film definitely brought it back for me. It had everything that I was missing from Godzilla 2014, in that it actually had a lot more monster fights. Godzilla was sort of the main character of the film. He was the centerpiece of the entire plot because he was basically on humanity's side trying to fight against these other titans vying for power. In the new film we have new characters played by Vera Farmiga, Millie Bobby Brown, Charles Dance, O'Shea Jackson Jr., and Kyle Chandler. Of the human characters this time around, I found Charles Dance's character to have the most layers to him. He plays a character named Jonah, who's sort of an ecological terrorist trying to unleash the Titans on the planet. The other human characters are fine. They're more serviceable, I think, than the characters that were in the 2014 film, but their plot is still just mildly more interesting than the other film. The great thing about King of the Monsters is that it puts the monster action in the forefront, and we get to see how these different titans interact with each other. We get to see the full display of their powers, how unique they are, and I thought they were just beautifully rendered and brought to life. There was some epic monster action and throwdowns in the film, especially between Godzilla and Ghidorah himself. If I had any minor flaws or complaints with the film, I think that at times the story can be kind of nonsensical, and like I said, the human plot really sort of drags it down because you're just waiting for the next inevitable monster smackdown. My final thoughts would be that go see the film in theaters. If you love the MonsterVerse, if you love Godzilla, I think you're really going to have a great time with this film, and it's especially worth it for a theatrical experience, especially in larger formats like IMAX or even seeing it in Dolby Cinemas. My final verdict for the film, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. I had a great time with it. I can't wait to see it again actually, and I'm very hopeful for Godzilla vs. Kong hitting theaters next March. If you guys got a chance to check out King of the Monsters early, leave your thoughts down in the comments below, but let's try to keep it as spoiler free as possible. And if you haven't seen the film yet, how excited are you to check it out in theaters this weekend? For more on Godzilla King of the Monsters and everything pop culture, be sure to subscribe to HN Entertainment.